Welcome to Vintage Gaming Memories. Shall we play a game?
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you're here to join me to see what I've got in store for you. So let's check out this vintage handheld game I just received the other day. Now I looked very hard for this one because I didn't want to overpay and I wanted it to be in nice condition as well. Don't we all want to pay less for something that looks great? But that's probably why it took so long to find this particular item. Let me get it out of this pile, which I know is still growing. I just received 4 more items yesterday, and a few more should be coming today. So I'm really trying to catch up, but it's tough. I mean, a lot of times I find good deals, and I just can't pass it up. More content, right? Okay. Well, the box we're going to open up today would be this one right here. So let's take a look at this and see what's in there. Well, first thing is I want to give a shout out to Jason from the YouTube channel In Jason's Garage. I'll put a link to his channels in the description as well. Check them out if you have a chance. He's a great guy with excellent knowledge on the automotive side, and he's got a lot of great ideas and reviews on his channels. Now, the reason for the shout out is because of his comment he left on a video that I posted earlier this year. It was the video on the 1981 Kenner Electronics Long Beach Grand Prix handheld game. He mentioned that he used to have the handheld that's in this box. Well, not exactly this exact one, but a similar one to it. And he had it many years ago, and then he dropped it, and it never worked right afterwards. So let's hope this one has never been dropped, because I'm hoping this will work just like it should. Let's open this up and check it out. Well, here it is. This is a 1980 Kenner Electronics Redline electronic drag racing game. I'm happy to say that now I own 2 Kenner Electronic handheld games. Never had one as a child, but I'm grateful to have these as an adult. Now, it was noted in the listing that this works, and it looks to be in good condition as well. It did come with a couple of paper items. This here looks like more of an advertisement for some other Kenner products. And this is the operator's manual. That's excellent. Great condition. Always love some manuals. Not that you can't get this online, but the original is always nice to have. Now let's look closely at the plastic, the shell, and everything else with this handheld game. I have to tell you, it looks bigger online.
Yeah, that's what she said.
No comment, but really it does, because it's funny. It just fits in the palm of my hand nicely, which it should because it's a handheld game. But check it out. It's got all the writing, visible, stickers, whatever you want to call it. The plastic paint is not scuffed up. You can read the letters on the buttons. Everything looks good so far. A little bit of scuff on the battery compartment, which I'm sure I can buff that out. Same on the bottom, not a big deal. Let's check out the battery compartment. Still have the sticker with the reminder of making sure that put fresh alkaline batteries if it malfunctions. And it is clean inside. You often find these battery terminals ripped, missing, or the cover missing for these types of games. So I'm happy to have this all intact. Now, it does, well, it said it works, so we'll have to make sure it works completely. I know sometimes when there's listings of these games that says it turns on, well, yeah, there's power probably going through with the battery, but does it really work and function like it should? This doesn't look too beat up, so I'm sure it should. What I'm going to do first is what I normally do with these types of games. I'm going to clean this thing up, put some batteries in, and come right back, and we'll turn it on together, and we'll see what happens. All right, I'm back with a super clean and polished Kenner Redline game. This turned out really great. Remember those scuffs I showed earlier that were like on the bottom here? Check that out. None. And also by the battery compartment area. Came out awesome. I mean, check it out. It looks like it's brand new. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It took about an hour to clean this very thoroughly. And I did use a variety of Q-tips, different sizes, so I can get in between all the little grooves. I didn't just do a quick wipe down. I did take my time to make it look really nice because it really was a good condition when I got it. It took a little bit more cleaning and polishing, and then now it just sparkles and shines. But the real test is that hopefully this all works, because so much for it looking good if it doesn't work, right? After I cleaned all this up, I did go ahead and took some time to read that operator's manual. So now I'm ready to talk a little bit more about it. And let me just show you how everything on this works, so that way when we do get to testing it, we can just get right into it without me trying to slow down and figure out what's what. You know, it might look like there's a lot going on, but it's really quite simple. You would hold this with both your hands just like that, and it's purposely shaped like a steering wheel of a Formula One race car. So when you hold it, all you really need to use is your thumbs. You use your left thumb for the gear changes, so that's how you shift your gears. And then the right thumb is how you accelerate. There's no braking at all, which means there's a lot of timing and coordination with how you press those buttons. Let's see, on top here, this is the on-off switch. And right below it here, this is the Christmas tree lights. And that's what you often see at a drag strip. You know, the countdown from yellow to green. And that's also a very key component of timing, where you don't want to jump the gun when you do start the race. Below that, to the left here, you will see your gear display. This gear display shows you going through the gears from 0, which means neutral, all the way up to 4th gear. And then to the right here, this window, that indicates your RPMs, your elapsed time, which is your ET, and then your miles per hour, your MPH. Then on the bottom left here, you have 4 different types of race classes. You can choose between stock, modified, funny car, or top fuel. Now, each of these race classes has a maximum RPM that you need to avoid going over, or else you're going to blow your engine. The stock class, that's the top one here, that's set at just under 7,000 RPMs. It's really 6,999. And then the next one, which is modified, you can get up to just under 9,000 RPMs. And then the funny car, that one is just under 10,000 RPMs. And then the last one, top fuel, that one is at 9,000 RPMs. Then to the right of that, you have a little button here that says push start. So that's how you begin your race, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. And then last but not least, you have this port that's on the bottom here. Now, one would think this is probably for an AC adapter plug-in, but it's not. This is actually where you would connect with another Kenner Redline handheld so that you and a friend can actually compete against each other. In the manual, it does mention it, but you need a special cord, as you can see there, to do that. And I don't even have that cord. But then again, I don't even have a second Redline to even bother playing. However, maybe I'll go ahead and get a cord. You can mail for one here by just sending $1.25 to Redline. Yeah, that would really work. But that's pretty cool. Think about it. You can actually have these two games going head-to-head with one another and just competing against your friends. So what else should I mention? Oh, how to gauge if you win or not. That's pretty important, right? So if you're not connected with that special cord to play with a friend, then you're just simply trying to get your fastest time on either one of those 4 different race classes you can choose from. And then on the right-hand side here, where we spoke a little bit about the RPMs, the elapsed time, and miles per hour, well, if you finished running through this quarter-mile track without blowing your engine, what's going to display there is your amount of seconds it took you to complete that quarter-mile track. Right after that, it's going to show your top speed. And then after that, it's going to reset back for the next race. So you have to pay attention after you complete it, or else you're going to miss out on how fast and how quickly you completed that quarter mile. That's pretty much everything on this handheld. All that's left to do is put in those two 9-volt batteries in the back here, and then we'll turn it on. So let's get those batteries in. All right, I have the batteries inserted. I made some adjustments to the lighting here. As you can probably tell, it's a little bit darker or dimmer. And I also made adjustments to the camera settings because with these handheld games, I always recall that the setting needs to be properly set or else you're going to miss some of the frames as you play it back. So it's a different frame rate right now. I think that's all I have to mention. So let's turn this on and we'll leave it at the stock class racing. That max RPM is at 7,000. And that's it. So let's turn the switch on and hope for the best. Awesome. Got some lights, numbers, and sound. Very loud sound. There's no volume switch. That's right. So that's the speaker. I'm going to put my hand over it as I talk because I don't want to scream. But we can look at what we have here, and it looks good so far. You can see the RPMs just moving, which is normal and typical of a car. And it's hovering just a little bit over 1,000. We are in neutral, gear 0. And everything looks good. So let's go through the gears. Let's make sure that works. It should go from 0, 1 through 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. It looks great. Back to neutral. And then I did read that I could actually accelerate while I'm in neutral before I start a race. So let me press the gas button. Let's see if this thing revs up. And I don't know if I can... I think I could probably blow my engine still, even though I'm not racing. So let's try that out as well. Yep. I just blew the engine. Oh, the red light shows up on the tree, which is great. And check that out, 6,999. So that's the max RPMs for that race class, which is nice to know before you start. So let's try the modified class. Let's see if it shows 8,999, and it does. That's awesome. I would expect then for the funny car, which is at just under 10,000, so it should be 4 9s. Yep, 9,999. And then the last one, top fuel, I think that's back at about 9K or 8,999. Yep. We'll go back to stock class. Excellent. So gear button seems to work. So does the gas or the accelerator. The displays are working just like it should. The sound is obviously working just as it should. It's very loud. And I think we're ready to go. Now, here's one thing I want to mention, because as I read that operator's manual, there is a particular way to start this game, and I think people, when they just turn this on, expect it just to start by pressing that start button. They would press this, and they're like, it doesn't work. Well, there's not really a trick to it. You just need to know how to actually start the game, or start the race, that is. So you don't just press the start button, you need to press the gear button simultaneously with the start button, and then it will start off the race. It should actually start the Christmas tree down, and then when it gets to green, I need to get into gear, accelerate without redlining it or going over and blowing my engine, and continue going through the gears as I go through the quarter-mile track. So let's try this out. I'm going to reposition myself here so I can get a good grip while the camera can capture this. All right, here we go. All right, what do I get there? Hard to see. I thought it was 139 at my top speed. I couldn't catch the rest. It goes away pretty quick. So you definitely have to keep your eye on this if you want to see what your speed and your time was, because it does flash quickly. Let's try the next class, which is modified. and let's see how I fare on this one. So this has a max at 9,000 on the RPMs. All right, here we go. "11 seconds and 31 100th and 141 miles an hour. Wow, that was quick. So about 11.5 seconds. Okay, let's try the funny car. And I know that one is at just under, what is it, 10,000 on the RPMs. So let's see how this thing revs up. Wow. Just a little bit of a touch on the gas and you're almost at, well, here you can see it. I'm already almost at 7. You really have to be careful on this one. All right, let's see what I do. I'm going to try to, hopefully you can see the RPMs here. Here we go. "7 seconds, 226 miles an hour, a little bit over 7 seconds and 226 miles an hour. Well, that goes quickly across that display. Like I said, it's hard to see. One more left. Let's try top fuel. And that maxes at 9K. I love that sound of that engine. All right, here we go. Let's try this one. "5 seconds at 283 miles an hour. That was pretty good. Let me turn this off. It's going to get loud. That was all 4 classes. The concept of this game is really cool. And handheld part of it, holding it like a Formula 1 steering wheel. Nice. Everything works on this. It's amazing. And it looks really good. So I got a great deal on this one. Thank you very much to the seller. What else do I want to mention on this? I guess what would be really cool would be try to get that special cord and getting another one of these. I mean, I don't know. It took me a while to find this one, but I'm really happy about it. Let me know what you guys think. Is this a memory that kind of comes back to you after seeing this and hearing it? Very loud. I don't think you can get away with playing this at night in your bedroom while your parents tell you it's lights out, because, I mean, that was extremely loud. I'm sure you probably can hear it through the camera here. I try my best to muffle it. This is a cool game. Love it. Well, here you have it. This is a 1980 Kenner Electronics Redline electronic drag racing game. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Hope it brings back a great memory. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. And until next time, keep that gaming passion from the past alive by living it today. Take care, everyone.